what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Wazim Reyes Jr. and I'm joined by my co-host David, aka SportsNTunes. What up, David?
How's it going, man? Good evening.
And we got a special guest to interview tonight. We got Abel Ramos from the welterweight division. What up, Abel?
Hey, what's up, man?
Thank you for making the time. Really appreciate you. I know you just finishing your training from the gym, and you're in your car, so really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, yes, sir. No problem, man. No problem, man.
The first question we got for you, I'm sure you get this question asked a lot, is how did you get into boxing?
It was because of my older brothers, man. My coach Jesus Ramos and my other, well, he's another coach too, Pain. They used to fight, man. They're my oldest brothers, and they used to fight amateur. But we were always big fans of boxing, man. We would watch every fight, every weekend, man. All the pay-per-views, all the fights we used to get them, man. And yeah, man, those little parties where the fights ended and we put on the gloves, brother against brother.
That was the after fight, the after party.
So you guys are like the ones in the movie, huh? The Price of Glory movie, the brothers.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I used to love that movie, man.
Yeah.
I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it in years, man, but you just reminded me of that movie.
Yeah, they were based out of Arizona too, right? The family.
Yeah.
The Mariposa.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Before we switch to your question, David, I want to actually show a clip of one of your fights, just so people that aren't familiar with Abel Ramos kind of get a feel for your fight style. So let me go ahead and play that clip.
Man, that's some real action there.
I like that clip where your opponent just nods his head like, yeah, no more. Like, this hurts.
Make it stop. Yeah, so here's the next question is, one of the fights we associate you with is your matchup versus Brian Pereira. You were behind all three cards before you scored a stoppage in the last second of the last round. Did you know what you were getting into towards the end?
Yeah, man. Of course. I knew I was behind, and yeah, man. I came out to that last, and I was so tired that round, man. I don't know why. My body was just wasn't responding, man. I think I had COVID, man. It was right before, like right after that fight, everything closed down, man. And I never felt that sick before, man. But yeah, man, I knew coming into that fight, coming into that last round that I was gonna be that I was behind, man, and I was like, but if I just land that punch, man, I always had it in my head. If I just land it right, like I can get him out of there. And man, thankfully it came at the end.
It busted out like Chavez and Taylor, huh?
Yeah, that's what came to mind.
Yeah, man. I said that right after the interview, or right after the fight in the interview. I said it, man, because I used to watch that fight so many times, man. I never thought I would be part of something like that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's why like you never should give up in a fight. You're in it into the very last second, as you proved in that one.
Yeah, man.
So Abel, I see that you've also been at 147 for several years now. Are you still comfortably making the weight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, still making it real comfortable. I think got a lot of years left in there, and hopefully later down the line, man, we can move up. But 47 right now, I feel real strong, and I can still make it real good.
Nice. Yeah, so that's gonna come into the next question. Do you have a target date for your return? Do you have any fight dates coming up?
Nothing set yet, but we're looking at maybe by the end of November, early December. We're still waiting on confirmation, but yeah, man, I started training already. I gotta be ready for that one, man.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And do you have a wish list of boxers that you like to fight in your next fight?
Man, there's a lot of them, man. The welterweight division is packed right now, and I guess either any of the top 10 fighters, man. I think I deserve those fights, and yeah, man. I want all those fights, I want all those fights, man, because I'm always ready to put on a show.
Yeah, I think you and Danny Garcia would make a great fight.
Oh yeah,
I know he just recently moved up to that division.
Yeah, man, that would be good too, man.
Yeah, or even Adrian Broner.
Wait, is he? Well, he went down to 140, no? Or if he ever comes back, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
I think he used to fight at 147, right? Yeah. But yeah, man, your family's also made history. We saw that you lost to Luke Santa Maria, then your nephew Jesus Ramos went on to beat him on his next fight. Does that qualify as a revenge for you, or is that just unfinished business that you have yourself against Santa Maria?
I kind of, I wanted the rematch. I asked for it. They told me they were gonna give it to me, but they didn't, man. And my nephew got to handle that business, and that fight doesn't appeal to me as much, man. I think it's already avenged, man. I would have done it myself, man, but they chose another route.
Nice.
nice. Yeah, I mean, the family got the win at the end of the day. So
Yeah, man.
on to the next.
Right.
I want to talk to you about fighting in Mexico, because I did see in 2018, I believe, you had 5 fights in Mexico. They're like about a month apart, and all of them were basically a stoppage. So what was it like fighting in Mexico?
It was cool, man. It was fun. I remember at the time I wasn't getting a lot of fights here in the U.S., man, and I had told my manager, man, I need to stay busy because I wasn't getting any fights, man, and you get ring rust, man, and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we took those fights in Mexico. It was fun, man. It was the crowd over there is crazy, man. It's another vibe, and I have family over there, man. I think the one from Obregon, my family came from Sinaloa. They're close by, so they all drove a big bus, and it was cool, man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. The Mexican scene is crazy, man.
yeah,
So, what would you tell us that your best fight is? Who's the best fight you think you've had?
man. I've had so many, man. I think it has to be either between the Perella fight, just because of the dramatic stoppage, or the Baranchik fight, man, just because it was so action packed.
Yeah.
I just love those fights, man, and yeah. But if I had to choose, I think the Perella, man, just because of the feeling, man. I haven't felt that before, man. Just getting the stoppage at the end, it was crazy, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then I want to ask you as well about how do you prepare for your fights? Are you the type of fighter that's actually watching video on their opponents and trying to study them, or are you more so concerned about your skill set and what you can improve on it?
Um, I watch a little bit, when they tell me who I'm fighting, I like to watch a little bit just to see. But of course, man, I just have to go into the gym and work on my skills, but yeah, man, it's important to watch just to see what they're open to, or what they have, because every fighter has a good punch. They have a punch that they have like all the faith in the world, and you gotta eliminate those punches, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And that brings us to our next question, which is really relevant to boxing nowadays. What's it like in the boxing scene in Arizona now? We have names such as the Benavides, and we have our boy Mickey Scala, Mason Mickey. That's his nickname, Mason Mick. What's it like in the boxing scene out there in Arizona now?
It's great, man. It's great. We actually got two other fighters from Phoenix that are coming to train with us now. And yeah, man, there's a lot of talent. One of them just fought a week ago, and I watched. I stayed throughout the whole card here in Arizona, and we got some real talent coming up, man. And
No,
we've always had it, man. I think we've always had it. I think it was just a matter of time before they got a little bit of a spotlight, and yeah, man. It was good for Arizona, man. We love boxing over here.
hell yeah! And then you guys are right there, right next to Sonora too, so you guys can just
Oh yeah.
go across and find more fights out there too.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. We got all the warriors right here, all the
Mm.
Mexican warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you guys are definitely getting more love with the kind of main event level fights being scheduled in Arizona. The good
Yeah.
fan base there. Our next question, kind of piggybacking off that one. How far have you had to actually travel to get good sparring?
Here in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
just Phoenix and Tucson, man. They're the ones that have more sparring. Yeah, man. Just Phoenix and Tucson, pretty much, man. But right now we have because we're in Casa Grande. We're right in the middle of Tucson and Phoenix. So they meet us here right in the middle, man. So yeah, we'll be having some good sparring sessions here.
That's cool.
yeah. Besides Arizona, is there any other places you've had to travel further out to get some good sparring?
Yeah, man. We've been to Vegas, California. Yep.
Nice.
We had training camp in Omaha once with the Crawford team.
Oh,
Nebraska.
that's
So
dope.
yeah, that was
Hmm.
cool, man.
Dang, that's pretty crazy, man. So we're sure you've had a lot of action, a lot of sparring. We've seen you've had good fights. But who would you think is the hardest puncher you've been in the ring with?
The hardest puncher in the
Just
in the
sparring,
fight.
or in a fighter and sparring, just the hardest puncher you felt in the ring with you.
Um, I think my fight against in the ring, my fight against who was it? Levan, the Wolf. They used to call him the Wolf.
Okay.
That dude used to hit hard, man. I remember the first jab he gave me. He gave me a little light jab, man, and it felt like a right hand. I was like, oh shit.
You're like, I can't eat too many of those.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be a long night, man. Yeah, man. I think he was the hardest puncher.
The wolf.
Yeah, he had heavy hands, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, and you've been match tough in your career. You got a lot of good names in your resume. I see Regis Prograis, like Marius Hooker, Baron Chick, Jamal James, Ugas, just to name a few. Who would you say out of that bunch has been kind of your toughest opponent?
The toughest one, and they, they've all been a little tough, man. They've all had like their little like Jamal James was freaking tall, man. He was just difficult to catch, and Regis, I remember he was real slick, real slick. Um, and I think Ugas will probably be the top one, man, just because he was so like I don't know, man. He was just like counter punching real good, and yeah, man. I think they were all tough, man. Just good
Just for different
fighters.
reasons. All right.
Yeah, different reasons, man.
Uh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And kind of adding along to the same question, who's been one of the guys that has surprised you in the ring? Like the guy that you didn't expect much from, and then suddenly he just did a 160 and you didn't know what was going on.
Who would it be? I think Perella, man. I think Perella. When I watched him, I remember thinking, man, this guy, I didn't think he was that good. His boxing skills were that good, but he was, man, and he was big too, man. He was a big 47 pounder. I remember when I stepped in the ring and I looked across, I was like, I looked at his legs, man. He looked bigger than like his legs looked bigger than my whole body, man. And he was fast, man. He could move pretty good. He's the one that probably surprised me the most.
Dang, Varela.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna go a little bit back to you growing up. Who was your favorite boxer when you're coming up?
My favorite, I had a bunch, man. I used to watch them all. Chavez Senior used to be my dad was a big fan of him. My whole family, so we used to watch him a lot. And obviously De La Hoya, man. De La Hoya at the time was big.
Hmm.
I used to watch him a lot. All of those fighters, man. Tito Trinidad, like Marquez, all those fighters, man. I used to watch them all.
Nice. All Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You know what I think is pretty messed up? And you guys might laugh too, but it is
All
pretty
right. What
messed
is
up.
it?
Every time we refer to Chavez, like nobody ever expects you guys talking about Junior. Everybody always knows
Yeah,
Chavez.
I always have to clarify, man.
Just in
Yeah.
case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
There may be a Chavez Jr. fan base out there. So yeah, good. Thanks for clarifying.
Absolutely. But okay, so that was your favorite boxer growing up. But now, who do you consider the number one pound for pound?
Right now, man, I think it's, who could it be, man? I have a bunch. I mean, Usyk's doing pretty good, and Tyson Fury too, man. So I think Tyson Fury number one, number two Usyk, and yeah, I think I would put Fury as number one.
All right, for sure. Yeah, he's the way he beat Wilder is impressive. All those fights.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Wild's a big puncher, and yeah, but there's pound for pound. I think Fury,
Tyson
man.
Fury.
Fury. Yeah, I mean, he's big and he moves so good for his size too.
Yeah.
And what do you think about him saying he'd come back to fight AJ?
Yes, I think he should fight Usyk, man. I think that's a better fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
He just
that's gotta happen.
I think
yeah,
they're just trying to sell out Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, he's just trying to catch Joshua on a bad spot and just put him out.
Get that paycheck.
Yeah,
All right, and we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but want to kind of formally ask you this. What are your thoughts on the welterweight division? We got established champions like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. We got Ugas. We got the up and coming boxers like Virgil Ortiz, Conor Benn, Jaron Ennis. What are your thoughts on that division?
man, I think that's the best division in boxing right now, man. You just all those names you dropped, man. That's big. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be exciting for the next couple of years, man, to see who takes over. I think Crawford and Spence, that fight should be made, just for they can settle who the best of the division is, and then get all the prospects there, man, to fight for the title.
yeah, and that division is going to continue to be loaded because I didn't even mention like Abel Ramos. Well, yeah, obviously you, I mean, Abel Ramos, but Alexis Rocha as another name. Rashidi Ellis, he had that layoff, but he's very skillful. Another great
Yeah,
talent. So
yeah, man. There's gonna be a lot of good fights in the welterweight division, man, for the next couple of years for sure.
absolutely.
Personally, I've always thought the welterweight was always the toughest division to get unified and just always get wins on it because there's always been great fighters in the welterweight division. We go years back, a decade. You had Juan Manuel Marquez, Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather ruled the welterweight division. It's always been an amazing division to watch. And I
Yeah.
think Canelo kind of ran away from the welterweight because he saw who was coming, so he went up.
quickly,
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's a pretty great division. So
Yeah, the welterweight division. I think the 135 pounders right now there is pretty good too.
Yeah,
135,
Yeah,
140, anything from 135 to about 147 is just dead
yeah,
on.
it's good.
it's loaded. Lots of
Yeah.
Yeah.
talent.
Don't take anything away from the bantamweights either. They're doing pretty good
Oh yeah,
too.
man. I love those fights, man. I love watching Chocolatito too, man. And Inoue, the dude from
The
Japan.
monster.
Yeah, yeah, the monster, man. He's good.
Yeah, it's good divisions, man. So we had Omar Figueroa Jr. We had him on previous interview, and he was giving us a lot of intel on how hard it is to be a boxer, and how it was just he was debating on what he was going to do with his career, and obviously his next fight it made him decide that he was just going to retire. You saw his frustration after the fight when he was talking with his family. He's like, "Man, all that training, all that hard work, all that effort for this. I didn't train all hard for this." What do you think? Do you agree with him with his retirement?
I think so, man. I think so, and yeah, man. I think just the time comes, for a fighter to listen to their bodies, man, because their heart might be in it, their mind might be in it, but if the body's not responding, man, it's time to hang them up. And I think that's the hardest part, man, to admit that it's over, man, because we love this sport. This is all we've done our whole lives, and also it's hard to say goodbye. But yeah, man, I respect him for that, for taking that decision and retiring.
Yeah, I'd agree. What do you think, Joe?
Man, I agree. I've always said that boxing is not only physical, but it's mental. And I think with all the struggles he's had with his mental health, with his body not responding to the training anymore, it was the right thing before he seriously gets hurt in there.
Yep.
Yeah, man, because I remember he said the same thing after our fight. When we were backstage, he was saying the same stuff. And yeah, man, at that time, it's just like you just gotta listen to your body, man. It's not responding anymore. Then you gotta hang him up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, I 100% respect what you guys do because once you're in that squared circle, it's just you and your opponent.
Yeah, and I understand too, man. The temptations is big. They come with a contract. They offer you some good money for another fight. So I mean, that's how you make money, man. But at the end of the day, you gotta look out for your health, man. I think that's more important.
Yeah. And it was amazing when we were talking to him. He was also saying that he doesn't really like sports. He doesn't like watching sports. He's more into cooking. He wants to be a chef.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, man.
he's got a daughter as well, so I think it's
Yeah.
overall good decision for him.
More power
Yeah,
to you,
yeah,
brother. We're with you, Omar.
yeah. He'll be good, man. He'll be good.
All right, and then our next question. We mentioned some of the names you grew up admiring growing up. What are some boxing icons you've actually had the chance to meet in person?
In person, um, I got to see Mayweather. I think he's the biggest one I've seen.
That's big.
Um, yeah, yeah. I used to go down to spar over there when I was younger. When Jesse Vargas would get ready for fights. When he
Mm-hmm.
was signed to Mayweather, he used to call us up for sparring. And I can't remember who Mayweather was gonna fight, but he was in camp. Man, that guy works hard, man. He works hard, man. All that talking, that's just for cameras, man. Because when he was in there, he just worked, man. Worked.
He's about it.
Yeah, man. He
Mm-hmm.
was. Yeah, that's why he was, the best, man. When he was fighting, he was the best because of it, man. You can tell, man.
Putting all that work in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you already told us about your icons. So here's the segment that everybody loves is where we ask you three potential fights. It can be rumored, it can be in the works. We don't know. So we ask you three fights, and you got to give us the result that you think. So I'll give it to Joe for the first one.
All right, the first one won't defer too much from your division. So at 147, who do you think will win out of Keith Thurman versus Yordenis Ugas?
Keith Thurman and Yordenis Ugas. Man, I think that's a good fight to make, man. Um, I would have to give the edge to Thurman just because of his athleticism, man. I think that's gonna give Ugas a lot of problems, but you can't never count out Ugas though, man. He's strong, but yeah, I think Thurman by decision.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
I agree. I think Keith Thurman's just good technically, and just take it through the decisions.
Yeah,
So number two, this is a really good one for us. It can be an all-out war, like Mexican war, like they say. This is going to be. What do you think, Alexis Rocha versus Virgil Ortiz Jr.?
man, that's a good fight too, man. Um, Rocha's a southpaw, right? Is he southpaw or no?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
is.
Southpaw. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I think I think at the first couple rounds, I think maybe it'll be a war, but I think Ortiz gets him at the end, man, just because of that. He's got power, man, and
Ortiz in the championship rounds.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with my heart, man. Santana. So I'm probably gonna go more towards Rocha on that one.
okay, yeah,
Ah,
that was good.
that's a tough one, man. I gotta flip a coin. I think I'm leaning with you, Ramos. I think Virgil Ortiz. If he can make into that later half of the fight, I think he'll figure him out and win either by decision or by knockout. But it's
That's the hard
it's
one.
it's a so evenly matched. That's a really good one.
You really
Yeah,
got me on that one, Joe. I didn't expect you to get
Hey
something
man,
like that.
I always think as a fan, I'm showing what I want to see. So then the next one is another one that possibly might happen. So I know Jamel Charlo right now is going to fight Tim Su, and we got Fundora fighting, I believe it's Campa, if I'm not mistaken. But who would win out of Jamel Charlo versus Sebastian Fundora?
oh shit, that's a good fight right there, man. That's a great fight. Um, man, it's hard to go against Charlo, man. Like he's been proving real good on Honduras coming up, but man, I would give the edge to Charlo just because of his experience, man. The people he's fought,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it would be a great fight, man. Honduras, the tough guy, man.
I just like watching Fundora because he's so big. If he's able to
Yeah,
manage to fight through the outside and just work the jab and keep him away, I think that'd be great. But yeah, Charlo has a good technical ability, so it'd be a good fight to watch. But you're right. I'd probably slide a little more towards Charlo on that one.
And another thing I like about Charlo too is that he's avenged his losses. With like Tony
yeah,
Harrison, and then
Yeah,
Ryan Castaño was a draw, but he basically had something to prove on the second fight with the rematch. That would be a good scrap.
yeah, that'll
yeah,
be a good fight, man.
man, that's a good one. And then this one is just for the people. Oh, where'd he go? Disappeared.
So there, is it, did it get too dark? We still have you open. All right, I think we may be having. Did it
Hello.
pause? Yo, can you hear us?
I thought I heard him.
Yeah, I heard it. All right.
Yo, yeah, I think he's working
Hey,
on the lights. He's back.
He's back.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend called and the phone got all weird out.
All good.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. So we were gonna ask you, outside of boxing, what are other interests and hobbies that you like to do?
Hobbies. I just like to hang out, man, with my family. I have a big family. We always get together and just go off roading. I got a razor here in the desert, man. It's just perfect for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I do, man. When I'm not training, just going out and the razor and hanging out with the family. I need a hobby though, man. I need to find something because I got too much time in my hands at times.
Hey, I think I found a new member to the team, bro.
There we
You need
go.
a hobby.
Come to on Sundays to break down the fights with us.
That'd be cool.
All right, and then our final question is not really a question; it's more just kind of an opportunity for you to, say whatever's on your mind. So, what do you want to say to your fans and supporters?
To my fans and supporters, I just want to tell them to, want to thank them, for all the support, and I just want to tell them that I'm coming back stronger, and they can look forward to my fights, man. They're gonna be action packed, and yeah, man, like always, I always give them good fights.
Absolutely. Right on, man. So everybody who's watching, hey, don't sleep on Abel Ramos. He still has a lot of gas in the tank, and he says he's been here and he's gonna keep doing it for a couple more years. So if you're out
Yes,
there
sir.
watching, stay tuned.
Yeah, and then if you're watching, the ticker's been scrolling with Abel Ramos IG, so make sure you give that a follow and stay up to date with his boxing career. There's definitely more to come. And Abel, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to get the chance to interview you. We wish you much continued success in your boxing career.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys, man. It was a great interview, man.
Oh man, thank you for your time.
Thank
And
you.
this is
Pleasure all
different than
ours.
other interviews. We're not like on TV where they get you all uncomfortable. Right here, you can express whatever you feel, man. You feel like you're at home.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, have a good night, brother. Thank you again.
Take care.
See you guys.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
see ya. All right, cool. And then just in closing again, just a huge shout out to State of Art Boxing, SOA Boxing, our sponsors. We're rocking the gear. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast. We everything you guys do for us, we appreciate it.
And hope we keep making you proud, guys. We're gonna keep working hard, just like you guys.
Yep, and we'll take the weekend off. I think we may come. Actually, no, there's no boxing because we got the Queen passed away, so Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall got postponed. So
yeah,
David and I will be taking a break on Saturday and Sunday, but we'll come back with more interviews on Monday. Everyone, thank you for tuning into the Abel Ramos interview. Really humble guy. Like I said, hopefully he comes back stronger.
absolutely.
Later, everybody.
Have a good one. Take care.
All right, peace.